Hey guys, thought I'd get you an update on what I've been up to these last few days. Uh, I'm here in Lancaster, Tennessee for the Living Free in Tennessee Spring Workshop. It's our last full day. This is a gathering of people who are building out their homesteads, people who are into preparedness, lifestyle design, starting businesses, all forms of entrepreneurship. And it's always just a really enlightening gathering of a few dozen folks who are here to learn, support one another, exchange ideas, and probably most importantly is building the community. So prior to that, I went out to West Tennessee to look at some property. My friend Toolman Tim has purchased 2 5-acre lots on a beautiful, I would call it a small ridge, large hillside. They eventually want to build that out as a space for hosting events of their own. So I've gone out there to work on the very basics of the design at this point. It's a beautiful piece of property. There's actually very little in the way of invasive species. Really nice wooded poplar and elm and beech trees. Beautiful habitat. So I'm putting together a plan with him and his wife and Brian from the Lots Project, who's going to handle the hip camp side of things. Tim would like this to be a passive income property and have it kind of be like a getaway vacation spot for them during Canada's wintertime. So it's an interesting project. It's fairly large in scale, so I've already decided that I really want to take my time observing everything. So I'm going to return in the early fall. I want to see what things look like, and I want to see it in the wintertime, especially when the weather has been very, very wet. There is a gully that runs through the property. I want to see how much water that moves and if there are any issues as related to it. I want to see if the easement that it's on has any kind of erosion issues, things like that are going to have to be addressed. So there's a lot to it. Like I said, I'm just kind of putting the very bones of the plan together. But I think it's going to be a really, really fun collaborative project between him and I and Brian. Let's see what else. So I've been away from home for almost a week now, and I am missing it. I'm ready to get back to the homestead and get back to my wife and just kind of get back on my routine. I've got a considerable log of jobs awaiting me. I've got a passive rainwater catchment and distribution project for some folks that I've kind of sketched out the basics of what needs to happen. So it looks like we're going to be collecting off a couple of outbuilding roofs that are on a higher point of the property and use the pressure from large, probably 275 gallon totes to passively water via drip irrigation a food forest strip and some raised beds. Gosh, guys, I've got projects that I can't even think of right now. I mean, it's that many. My list is long. One of the big things I want to push for on the homestead this year is biochar production, specifically inoculation with worm compost. So I'm really looking at increasing the soil diversity, the nutrient density of the soil on our property, kind of do a trial run of it, and then provide that biochar as a product and or teach how it's produced. Biochar is one of those things. There seem to be 10,000 opinions on how to get it done. So I want to figure out what works for me with particular challenges we have, which would be wind. When you're way down in a valley, like I am right now, like the wind is very calm. This same wind up where we are, with the kind of openness and the tunneling that we have, would be probably 20 or 30 miles an hour. So I want to be able to make biochar and not burn down my homestead. So I've got maybe some plans for an old wood stove to do it in that instead of an open barrel. So one of the things on the long list. I've had a really good time here in Tennessee. Always good folks, old friends, new people who will become friends, networking opportunities, uh, conversations around the campfire are always productive and useful. So I've got quite a bit of notes to distill and uh, plans to kind of put these things into action, including getting more video content up on this channel, getting more instructional materials available coming from my own personal experience and knowledge base, and just kind of sharing what's going on in my world. So that's pretty much what I got right now. I'm going to get back to class time. So I'll catch you guys soon. Take it easy out there.